The City of Tarpon Springs Community Analysis presentation by Rich Wakeland. In the late 1870s, farmers and fishermen settled in what is modern-day Tarpon Springs. In 1879, Mary Boyer enjoyed watching the tarpon jump in Spring Bayou from the family cottage and named the city Tarpon Springs. These fish were wrongly identified and were actually mullet. The late 19th century was a time of rapid growth for the city of Tarpon Springs. Tarpon Springs became the first incorporated city in Pinellas County. The railway came to the city and Anclote Key Lighthouse was built during this period. The ease of access by train and by water made this city a favorite winter destination of wealthy northerners. In the early 1900s, Tarpon Springs was flourishing. Banks, cigar factories, sponge processors, lumber mills, an ice plant, restaurants, and general stores all moved to the area to support the thriving sponge industry. For 30 years, the sponge industry was the largest industry in Florida, even larger than citrus or tourism. In 1915, Tarpon Springs was booming and it was considered the sponge capital of the United States. Tarpon Springs went bust in the late 1930s, feeling the effects of the Great Depression, and the sponging industry was nearly destroyed when the sponges were killed by disease. Further damage occurred to the sponge grounds in the late 1940s when the area was hit by red tide. The city would not succumb to the devastated sponging industry and continued to grow. The economy changed from sponging to tourism and became a favorite of many seasonal visitors during the winter months. Today, Tarpon Springs brings in an estimated $20 million in revenue every year from tourism, while the sponging industry has rebounded and currently brings $2 million into the city yearly. Today, approximately 26,000 residents live within the city boundaries, which consist of a total area of approximately 17 square miles, 9 of which are land, 8 are water. Tarpon Springs has approximately 11,000 residential dwellings, which include mobile homes, apartments, condos, single-family, and multi-family dwellings. The median home value in Tarpon Springs is approximately $157,000. The Tarpon Springs Public Housing Authority provides 859 units to low and moderate income households. There are currently no freestanding homeless shelters in the city of Tarpon Springs. However, homeless shelters are found throughout the Pinellas County region. The city of Tarpon Springs has a variety of public, charter, and private school options. Public elementary, middle, and high school is provided by the Pinellas County School System. These schools are rated above average for the region. The public library is operated by the city of Tarpon Springs and provides written and electronic books, internet access, and other items for citizens to enjoy. Public education and entertainment opportunities occur regularly at the library. The city of Tarpon Springs is religiously diverse with more than 20 churches found within the city boundaries. Places of worship from all major denominations can be found within the city limits. The churches provide many outreach programs. Some of the programs provide school supplies to needy children, cold weather shelters for the homeless, soup kitchens to feed the needy, and they also provide basic health and legal resources. The City of Tarpon Springs Road and Street Division maintains roadways, sidewalks, and stormwater infrastructure within the city boundaries. Tarpon Springs is also home to 3.1 miles of the Pinellas Trail, who's maintained by the Pinellas County Parks Department. The trail provides a safe atmosphere for bikers and pedestrians. There are two public bus services within the city of Tarpon Springs, one from Pasco County and one from Pinellas County, and routes will travel throughout each of those respective counties. The city also is home to numerous taxi companies which provide service throughout the region. Transportation for the needy is provided by many volunteer services. Some are provided by local hospitals, elderly agencies, and 211 Tampa Bay. There are no airports or train stations within the city limits. The closest are available in Tampa. There is no shortage of shopping opportunities in the Tarpon Springs city limits. Products from every logo in this background can be found at local retailers within the city limits. If an item cannot be found locally, free internet access is available at many establishments so an individual can order it online. Prices of food and merchandise vary from inexpensive to very expensive. Cost is dependent on the item and prices compared to the region. Greek influence in Tarpon Springs has been present since the late 1890s when many Greeks immigrated to the city to dive for sponges. Today, the culture is evident in many areas of tourism, especially at the Sponge Dock district. Many places offer Greek cuisine and pastries, while other venues provide insight into the city's strong Greek heritage. Some historians indicate that the first spongers were actually African American descent and not Greek, brought here from the Bahamas by Mr. Boyer in the late 1800s to hook for sponges. These original spongers were forced away by the Greeks who came into the region. Tarpon Springs has been long influenced by African Americans following the Civil War when many settled the region to harvest sponges. Tarpon Springs is home to the first African American cemetery in Pinellas County that was established in the late 1800s. Tarpon Springs opened a segregated elementary school in 1919. The school was later named the Union Academy and served the African American community into the 1960s. Tarpon Springs was also the home of the first African American cemetery in Pinellas County. It was established in the late 1800s and is known as the Rose Cemetery. The city of Tarpon Springs is located in the most densely populated county in the state of Florida. The population is 9 times greater than the state average. This creates unique needs for the community, which results in increased stress to the infrastructure of the city. This already dense population increases during snowbird season, and this influx of temporary residents stretches the availability of goods and services as well as the availability of medical services to the citizens that live within Tarpon Springs. Health concerns in the community. The main health concern within the city of Tarpon Springs is emergency department overcrowding. Two reasons for emergency department overcrowding are an increase in the number of elderly persons living within the city and temporary or seasonal residents that come to the city during the winter months. Tarpon Springs has 7% greater population of elderly persons over the age of 65 when compared to the state. As a result of this, many of those individuals have failing health and have to be evaluated in emergency departments. This compounded with temporary residents who have no primary care providers in the region come to the emergency department for simple medical problems, many of which would typically be evaluated by their primary care physician. These two things result in extended emergency room wait times when compared to the CDC's estimates of 58 minutes in 2009. Today, emergency room wait times can be extensive, lasting for several hours. The city of Tarpon Springs is fortunate to have many healthcare resources within its city boundaries. The only type of facility that the city does not have is an inpatient mental health facility and specialty services for pediatrics and trauma patients that are admitted to an inpatient setting at a hospital. Healthy People 2020 Community Specific Objectives. The city needs to improve access to mental health services. Depression is a leading cause of suicide among elderly persons. There is limited mental health professionals available within the city boundaries and no inpatient mental health facilities available, resulting in transport to regional mental health facilities. Oftentimes, these facilities are full, and transport to a receiving mental health facility may be at an extended distance. Improvements in daily physical activity. Healthy People 2020 indicate that 80% of our population does not get adequate physical exercise. The city has taken steps to improve this area by providing expansion to the Pinellas Trail System, installation of free outdoor exercise equipment in the city parks, and ongoing improvements to the sidewalks and designated roadway bike lanes. Healthy People 2020 wishes to improve access to healthcare services. The city and county have both taken steps to improve access to healthcare by, by providing information seminars about the Health Reform Act, otherwise known as the Obamacare. They also have improved the amount of transportation available to get people to healthcare services. The city of Tarpon Springs is fortunate to have quality water, sewer, and waste reclamation services. These services all exceed county, state, and national standards. The city has nearly 20 parks and outdoor recreational venues. Many of these provide daily entertainment and seasonal festivals. The city has its own police and fire departments that are supported by county EMS and regional mutual aid from other fire departments that provides adequate, professional, quick responses to any emergencies within the city limits. These departments account for more than 50% of the city's annual budget. These departments, in conjunction with county and state agencies, have formulated extensive disaster plans, especially in the event of hurricanes, since the city is situated on the Gulf Coast. Vector control, specifically mosquito control, needs improvement, especially with new emergence of many mosquito-borne diseases here in the United States. Standing water as a result of poor stormwater drainage is a leading cause of uncontrolled mosquito populations. The city has initiated improvements to storm drain system, but standing water will continue to be a challenge as the city has over 8 square miles of water within the city limits. The county continues with public education to inform citizens as to what they can do to help control mosquito breeding grounds. The city of Tarpon Springs has a successful city government. It provides a balanced city budget. City council meetings are twice monthly and open to the public. The mayor and council members are receptive to public input by providing availability via person, meeting, or phone. There are no areas of economic, political, or public policy concerned, as evidenced by no negative press, civil unrest, or demonstrations. Prioritized community needs of Tarpon Springs include healthier eating establishments, the promotion of home or city co-ops, otherwise known as organic gardens, public health screenings, resources for our elderly populations, measures to reduce obesity, and measures to reduce the use of tobacco. In 2014, 1.9 billion individuals over the age of 18 are obese according to the World Health Organization. 50 to 100% of these individuals are at risk for premature death. These deaths are often a result of cardiac disease, diabetes, or hypertension. Tarpon Springs has similar rates of obesity when compared to Pinellas County, and in 2011, 33% of the citizens were considered obese. This rate of obesity directly influences their need for additional medical services. Prevention is the best measure in controlling obesity. Singapore has become a global leader in reducing obesity by introducing the Fit and Trim program into schools. This program has improved fitness among students of all ages and reduced their obesity. It encourages physical activity and healthy eating habits. Locally, the city has expanded opportunities for enjoyable physical activity, expansion of safe bike lanes on major roadways, and expansion of public exercise areas in city parks. The community health nurse can intervene and provide public education about the dangers of obesity in schools and at public events. The information should also include simple, inexpensive ways in combating obesity and where resources may be obtained.